What's going on? This your boy King Gay way in the back and in the midst of the Miracle Crew here. All together.
Ooh, we're all together.
Yes.
Like the Avengers.
Yes.
Said they were trying to get the Avengers back together, so we're waiting for Sam Wilson to come get us.
Yeah, we're
Well, the
missing
future
out.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, future
Shout out to Brother
Avengers.
Sam.
We'll be teaming up with the Thunderbolts.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe they should call the Thunderbolts the underdogs since they're an underdog group.
That's it.
They seem like they trying to go the Suicide Squad route with them, but hopefully they do better than the Suicide Squad.
It's like the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad.
That was the vibe I was getting from like that Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course y'all know,
The one EJS in the house, y'all.
and you know our queen here, Queen Tina,
Queen Tina in the house too.
and of course finally got her here.
Yep. Here.
Casey.
We're here, Chris.
Fix this
Fast
case.
brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yep, all of us. So as you know, we're here to talk about Captain America: The Brave New World.
Yep.
Even got a figure for it.
Right.
And I got the drink for it.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we get his shield.
Oh yeah.
Shit. That's it. That's it.
Huge shield.
Yep. So we just got back from seeing the movie. Real good movie, by the way. Sam Wilson really is a really great Captain America, president, and all that. Of course, we got a few things to mention about it. Let's kind of talk about what we think about the movie first, and let the ladies start first.
Ladies first.
You go first.
Well, I admit, personally, in my personal opinion, they should just stop at just free Captain America movies, just free with the Chris Evans era, because these were great movies. But when I watched the fourth movie, I would just take everything I say back about stop at free movies. This is epic. Yeah, now you got a total of 4 Captain America movies.
They're probably gonna get a new trilogy. Was saying that's the way.
Yes.
That's the way you continue something.
That's right. That's right.
Passing on the Shield. In my opinion, it was an amazing movie. With Sam being in Steve's place, Captain America, trying to be held the place of Captain America. But at the same time, he shows his own personality. That's not that they I'm trying to find the words. That's still you see that Captain Steve Rogers in him, but at the same time you see a new personality within Sam because he's finding himself. As for Ross, that's that part where I'm not doing the detail. This is just the first one. What I'm saying is, it's an excellent movie. It's not Winter Soldier, the type that would be available to go back and forth, but it's an amazing movie because they accomplish so much more details in the movie itself that you could go back and find more details within the details, and it would pinpoint and put little tying things together. Now, bullets.
Yeah, I guess. And they say from that you can say it's so captivating it leaves you speechless. Kind of almost lost for words there.
Oh yeah.
I definitely pretty much. I'm trying to. They say what do we not like about the movie? Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Which is pretty much
Yeah.
it. I will say I like what they did with Ross. Kind of, a bit of a twist. And of course, there are spoilers, so just let y'all know spoilers.
That's trigger. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yep. Because I definitely have to. When I mentioned Ross, yeah, I actually was impressed that he you know, after that, the thing with turning into the Hulk, even though it was, you know, stern, pretty much, but he did feel some responsibility to the point, like, because it ties back to Captain America: Civil War when, you know, he was telling the Avengers to take responsibility. So
Yep.
he said, "Well, I did tell you guys, so, you know, had to be a man of my word."
Oh yeah.
It's
So-
like a man. He's looking for redemption of the actions he's done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And they really good inspiration with his daughter Betty really tying back to the Hulk movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
That is a spoiler too, but bringing her back from older films that you think, oh, that was bad, and then putting it into an amazing, better movie, and surrounding the character of the daughter and the father and their close connection, and him thinking about all the stuff, juggling, Ross juggling everything. And it's like having an overwhelming migraine or a flood on you.
Don't get me started with anxiety.
Yes.
Anxiety all over your mind.
Oh yeah.
And we all deal with that on a daily basis, including me.
Yep. I understand. Totally understand.
So what you had to say?
Well, I'm gonna say I was pleasantly surprised. I'll be honest, when it comes to superhero movies, out of all the ones, I was like, Captain America: Brave New World coming out. I might see it, I might not. I don't know. It was not like my first priority.
Yeah.
But when I went in to see the movie, I was late. We'll talk about that later. But so when I came in to see the movie, I was really pleasantly surprised, shocked, and I really I really enjoyed myself with the movie. Number one, shout out to brother Anthony Mackie being the lead character,
Oh,
Sam
yeah.
Wilson. So he's
He's
always been
amazing.
cool in my book. And what I love about the story is that he's breaking out to his own as a leader of the team. He's
Oh,
not
yeah.
the second to Steve
Yeah.
Rogers.
He's
He is
not Steve Rogers.
he's his own man. Like it states in the trailer, though, he's not Steve Rogers. He doesn't need to be Steve Rogers. He is his own man.
He's being himself.
He's being himself. He's being the best version of himself. And what I love about this movie, and I wrote so many notes, is a mixture of action, adventure, superhero epic, espionage, governmental conspiracy, a lot of psychotropic kind of like mind control within the story. And it really was just engaging. Contrary to what a lot of people are stating, what a lot of comic book critics, in the realm of Marvel, hated on the movie. I'm going against the grain. I love the movie.
I love it too.
It's a slept on.
Yeah.
People sleep on it. It's like it's
A
not
lot of
that.
sleeper hit. A sleeper hit.
Sleeper hit. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that. It's not that bad. It's not the greatest, but it's definitely not the worst.
Yeah.
It's in the good realm.
It's definitely worth checking out.
It's worth checking out.
It's one of those ones that you would like to at least go back possibly twice or more, depending on how your perspectives of it is.
Mhm.
Mine is I loved it because of just the story itself, and just even if Ross had to be changed because of the actors, Harrison Ford just hit it off like
A legend.
like
Yeah.
a legend, and just made it more than you could possibly think of.
Well, speaking of Harrison Ford, I did see him in a movie before. Well, actually, a movie trailer back in the 90s. He was the president before, way back in the 90s. I think he was in a movie called Air Force
Air
One.
Force
Oh,
One,
yeah.
Yeah, and I
remember you telling
remember
me
in the
that.
trailer he said, "I am the president of the United States." That's the only thing I remember in the trailer.
Yeah,
And he was a bit younger back then, but I don't know
I
how
saw
old.
that one.
It kind of gave me the once again I remember like the vibe of the movie. Of course, Air Force One, and then he was also in the Tom Clancy Patriot Games, the Jack Ryan series
Oh
of
yeah.
the '90s. So it was giving that type of vibe too. So when you have somebody who already is a stronghold in that type of genre, then you have Anthony Mackie, who's gonna, of course, knock and roll out as Captain America. No, contrary to what people say, he brings his own essence to Captain America.
Oh Oh, yeah.
from style to Captain America.
Looked like his main strong point is like patriotic movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Talking about Harrison Ford himself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I think when he was younger, he was in Star Wars. When he was young.
Yeah,
He was in Star Wars,
Yeah.
Han Solo in the 70s and early 80s, and then of course throughout the 80s, Indiana
Yeah.
Jones.
Oh yeah.
So,
Back with Darth Vader.
one of
Yeah.
the main things, I think, the two main things in my vision that he stood out so much as all the Indiana Jones, the classic ones, not the ones like within the past
only in the
Years.
80s.
in the 80s. That and Star Wars made him. It just like.
Yeah.
But
blew him up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now, I think there's a few things that I've disliked about the movie that I kind of saw was there was kind of those, there were certain areas of what they said in scenes that they didn't go into details that were like a main scene of the plot. I mean, I think there's not much else that I can think of in my vision on it, or opinion on it, should I say. I like that they brought in someone who is going to be Falcon. That's a premise part of it, and that he's under Sam, but Sam's trying to be Captain America, and so that combination of trying to,
The transition period.
yeah,
Passing the torch.
Yes. All right.
Kind of, and so of course, and I think we pretty much gave like separate also our likes there about it there.
Yeah.
So next thing that what we all think. What do you think this is going like? They brought forth like this whole thing of, well, this is not your only world and stuff like that, and then animating him because what is Wolverine? What he's got in him.
It's like bringing out clues to the movie, like he hidden Easter eggs, like going on for upcoming films in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you got think about what what's next for the MCU as a result? Well, we know Thunderbolt's coming up, but
Yeah.
other things that this could spring forth.
From what I saw in the article report, I think they're trying to get Jonathan Majors back. So Kang might be still part of the storyline, and they're trying to do another multiverse kind of fight. I think
Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror. I think that's what they're
Yeah, that's what's
teasing by that last trailer. I think that's what they're teasing, and just seeing a new form of the Avengers. I know I haven't read all the comics, but I know they have like an East Coast Avengers, West Coast Avengers, New Avengers. They have like many
Maybe divisions.
divisions.
They
They
sort
like
of kind of remind me of the
Justice
League and also the Titans when they had their divisions. Yep, and I actually, because it was a book that I think your mom gave me.
Yes, I think it's a book
Yeah, the
that
Avengers
helps.
Handbook, and it mentioned about different members of the
Yes.
East, West Avengers and all that. There.
Yeah, I thought it was a book on how to draw the Avengers at first.
Yeah, it was pretty much like an Avenger Dex. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, that does seem like what they're gonna go. We got Thunderbolts and all these new versions like Shuri and that we know from the previous movies and stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, look like they're gonna have a new team up there.
I mean, I want to see Thunderbolts mainly because I want to see the combination of the personalities all together of the characters that were always either pushed aside or in the background, or they were the side character, but they were important too, and like they came in like Natasha's sister and their dad.
And they also got the not so Captain America.
Oh, yeah, John
Yeah.
Walker.
John Walker.
John Walker, and him, and then the newer ones that are coming in that are going to be a part of the next of Thunderbolts. I want to see what after that and this one we just saw, how it's going to go throughout the years and the plots that it's going to make and the little strings to different areas, and you'll learn about them within the movie itself, of the characters and who end up here, or with this Sam maybe, or Bucky, or you name it. I like to see, with my thing about Marvel, I like to see the plots. Like a thick plot that has a detail to it. And this movie was that. That and like Winter Soldier. That was another one that I liked. But yes, the movies do have their flaws, but that's what a movie is. You create it through writing. My dad's a writer, and whenever a person is inspired, like through Marvel, you come up with I'll stop going into detail because I could talk all along, but what I'm saying is an inspiration writer could come a drama or a director who inspires maybe a lot of different people in acting too. And that's been through Marvel and some of the DC and TV that relates to it.
I would add on to that, just anything, just in comic books in general, just great storytelling from Captain America, X-Men, Spider-Man, whether DC or Marvel. The good thing about a comic book realm, comic book stories, it's like it starts with one, and as that creativity sparks, it branches off to another, to another, to another, to another, to where once you've got so much content in one universe, yeah, it's like, okay, well, let's flip it. To think about how can we change this and make it more. So in this dimension, Wolverine and Cyclops are feuding with each other, and they're feuding over Jean Grey, but this other one they might be feuding over Emma Frost, or Wolverine might be with Storm in this other particular realm. So like in this case, now we have a black Captain America, Sam Wilson, and now you see how his wings are built with, and I noticed that vibranium. And I'm like, when I saw that purple, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see the Black Panther reference now. Now I see how they're tying a lot of things in. Hearing, if you want me to go and mention the word starts with the letter A in the story. Adamantium. So hearing that a lot, it was teasing. Okay, is Wolverine or somebody that was with Wolverine that time going to be tied in, as you were talking about the depth of the story. Like, okay, now with Marvel now having a license with X-Men back, okay, we're going to see Wolverine, Sabretooth, Silver Fox, anybody that was in that laboratory who had to Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah, I mean that just also the laboratory throws you out whenever they talk about the villain, which I'm blanking on the name. And then Ross being there for 30 years. But the thing is, they hinted on so many other things, on the different people that they experimented on. Now that could be for some other hero or villain could come in the future.
That's right. There's so many issues. So like comic book issues.
So in other words, like we saw how Stern was, helping with Ross, but then now we see made him turn to that red home. He could have been having some other people bring in there. So like I say, maybe this is the new way of Wolverine coming out of there.
Right. Through mind control.
I mean, it could be that. I mean, because I did. That's a good point, because in the original X-Men movies, way before the MCU, there was a thing where they said like Wolverine had like the Wolverine Origins movie. I know not a lot of people like that, but notice in that movie they had like that little thing they were trying to control. They actually was trying to control him, and then they showed it in X-Men Apocalypse. Had all these little cybernetics on him and stuff like that. So you could have something like that. I mean, they've done it before. So yeah, maybe Stern. If Stern's got as much intellect as he has, he could be responsible for the X-Men coming up.
Right, and I was taking so many notes, and I didn't know if there's any questions. I'm gonna do a very, very brief summary because I know I'll be doing something later on my channel about it. With Captain America: Brave New World, it reminded me of, because it was very political, obviously. Reminded me of a movie that I was in, which yesterday you went live. Yesterday or the day before.
You said what movie was in?
Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh yes, that's right. You was talking about it on TikTok.
And so it was the destruction of the White House and how you have all these different other countries, and now very relevant to what we're going through right now if you're watching politics. Going up against the president and the president having his own, being in his own world, other world leaders being in their own world. There was a lot of mind control, so it was giving me Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid. If you ever played Metal Gear,
Heard of it.
I play it all the time.
Controlling the mind through a song, so it makes me think. Anybody that played Far Cry 5, Joseph Seed always played a song that triggered mind control.
I heard some.
So that, and I already mentioned something about Wolverine. It also had political and also slight racial undertones. Because I read between the lines. I saw it, but that was just my little brief summary. I'll probably go into more detail later on, but I want to at least state that that was.
And then of course that mind control, we know Bucky's been through that.
Yes.
That's
With
another
those
reason.
words.
Yeah.
Because words to songs to even sayings, they like a villain could say something within 3 words or 1 word, and it could
Just
flip
trigger
on.
word.
Triggers.
And you know something else non-Marvel related that also kind of brings out with the mind control stuff. I know when you and me we seen Get Out.
Yeah.
That movie. That was a movie. They guy and his girlfriend went to see her family. Turns out they find out that her family, and then found out the girlfriend was in on this. They had like a group of people that were trying to literally put those people brain like some elderly people, put their brain in young people like say me and EJ, because they wanted to.
Wow.
Right. That was it was. I had no idea what that was going to be about, but I was like.
There's some horror films I don't watch, and the reason why is the ones that I watch have to have a good plot because I have my dad's a writer, so and I'm the artistic, but I had the imagination, so I could see that person's going to know because of this and this and this, and then this person because of this, and then there's those horror flicks, and I'm not saying, if you're into it, you're into it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You like more suspense and in depth than just blood and gore.
Yes.
So yeah.
Because I don't like when I see gore, like deep gore. It's something that just gets to my stomach.
Yeah.
And if you're into seeing that stuff, that's your thing, and I respect that. But it's everybody's opinion when it comes to
each his own.
Yeah.
It's like for instance, just with film. Okay, so there's a fine line between suspense and then just straight up just being like sinister or like gore, like in the realm of horror. There's that build up. And then there's that shock and awe. There's the release. I can't think of the word for it. It starts with, I think, the letter C of what happens when the audience kind of goes and it has a reaction to a particular moment on the screen or in the story. There's a difference between, like, even if we were in the realm, talk about the realm of romance, between romance and intimacy and it's just raunchy nastiness and just lewdness.
Right.
There's a fine line in comedy where it's one thing when you are funny and you are telling, like, because comedy offends and it's supposed to, but at the same time you're supposed to laugh at it. there's a fine line between true comedy where everybody can laugh, even if they are offended, and then just being mean-spirited and just
Right.
cussing
Oh, yeah.
or just trying to hurt somebody.
Sort of like what they, yeah, like you go like Sherman pointed out, that professor.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
he was, because you notice like in that community he was going around everybody, and everybody just like,
Going around
Yeah, it has
with
to
when
be
he-
like that one person in the audience that person's is the target of jokes.
Right, he
Yeah.
just stayed on Sherman. At first, Sherman was trying to laugh. He's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay, you got it. Oh, I ain't got you yet.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and
And
once
deep down inside, he's hurt.
yeah, it's one thing when you I think we all can kind of take a joke, and even if there's some reality to it. But then because I've delved into this as well, I know some other people. When somebody continues to just grind at it, it's like,
Right.
okay, now what were you trying to get here? Is your intention to make people laugh, or are you trying to hurt me and attack me
Yeah.
in a particular way? So taking it back to cinema, even if it does have a racial undertone or political undertone, you should be, the main focus, number one, is to entertain people. Now, if you do get them to think, that's great. Because that's while in the midst of entertainment, it's making you think, wow, didn't look at the story like that, didn't look at this story like that, or this plot, or this character, or this twist. But when it starts to go overboard,
Yeah.
now, like even the critique for this movie, I thought was really unfair. I'm like, Anthony Mackie is a real cool actor. Why are other channels attacking this movie like it's the worst in the world, when technically there have been a heck of a lot worse movies, not just in Marvel,
yeah.
but just in general.
I
that-
thought
yeah.
it was interesting because perspectives of Ross and
Mhm.
being Hulk, and he went there because he didn't want to die because of his daughter,
Mhm, mhm.
and so he didn't realize though it would trigger him into the Red Hulk itself, and but he didn't realize that it was affecting the two different
System.
yeah.
That's I believe that's part of what the mind control is, and you have to be careful who you allow in your circle and in your system.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all, you could be the most jaded of person, but we all have a trigger. Whether it's a word, whether it's a moment, whether it's a sound, a smell,
Or even a
a
flashback.
flashback. You can go back in time, like you can just be minding your own business one day.
And sometimes it can counter PTSD.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And that was also one other thing, not the gore part, but the mind control part again.
Yeah.
With before you even knew what was going on, one of the first things, like the boyfriend said he was trying to quit smoking.
Yeah.
The girl's mother said, "I can help you with hypnosis," and it wasn't like, and obviously it wasn't like you're getting sleepy, but no, she had this little teacup. She asked him about his mother. It's like where's
Yeah.
so where were you when your mother didn't come home?
And she keep on playing with the teacup and then toying with his mind.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And he's starting to cry a bit.
And I will also say, because we're all churchgoers in here, we
Yes,
all
we're all going
believers
to
in-
the
Yeah.
we all believers and followers of Christ.
Exactly.
You have to be very careful with mind control, because that's a very dark practice to.
There's a line
You just don't. It's one thing we look in fiction and storytelling, but then when you're trying to use something that's number one not godly, it's totally opposite of
Exactly.
God, that you're trying to manipulate, or whether it's by witchcraft, by hypnosis, MK, governmental, even just by, once again, words. You might be performing a particular mind control or witchcraft by saying, that person don't like you. You remember when you was in school and they said this, that, and the third, or you remember how they looked at you like that?
Remember, that's not.
It's like that. That's just another way to kind of tie that in.
It's a
even with
door
fiction.
you don't want to open. There's
Right.
certain things that
And it
you
causes
don't.
ruin relationships.
Yep.
Like,
Yes.
for instance, one of my favorite series, or like little sagas in the X-Men, the Phoenix Saga.
Oh,
They
yeah.
the Inner Circle try to, Emma Frost and Sebastian
Oh, yeah.
Shaw try to manipulate the Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Made her worse. Some
Yep.
things you just don't,
Just
You
mess
don't
with it.
want to prod or poke at it.
because when you poke at it, you're gonna get burned.
It feel like that Isaiah Bradley person didn't catch a break. He did say that I just don't want to be here I just don't want to go to that White House event, but he just went anyway because but I bet deep down inside he's afraid of the danger of what will happen to him.
What he's been through.
Yes, because he did say that he'd been in jail before
Exactly.
and he didn't get a chance to see his wife.
Exactly.
And his wife died while he was in prison.
And that strikes another trigger.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And then when he's in mind control, he's starting to attack, especially trying to almost assassinate the president. And then he went in jail again.
Yeah.
He went through hell.
Yep.
Yep, pretty much. Yep, yes, but that's like I say, you know, stuff like that can exist in the real world there.
Yeah, and we all encounter our personal demons as well as our
Oh, yeah.
personal hell.
Yeah.
We've all been through a lot of things, and some might cause trauma, but
Mm-hmm.
with God
Absolutely.
and our group here,
Amen.
He's gotten us through all of it. We
That's it.
still fight on certain things, but that's what He helps us with, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Amen. Amen.
So I guess one, I think you brought this question to me.
Yes.
What, so now that we've seen the movie,
yes.
what are some of the things y'all can point out that's different but still good between Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson?
Well, the difference between Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson is Steve Rogers came from the 1940s era, and he didn't have the super soldier serum back then. He was all scrawny, and he was trying to prove himself, even without the serum. But when they put him, when they gave him the serum, he's a standout hero that he could do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
As with Sam Wilson, he's like a modern day Captain America.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need the super serum. He just want to be himself for a change. Like I'm not just like Steve Rogers. I don't have the super serum. I don't have blonde hair like him. I don't have blue eyes like him. I just came here to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to prove the world that a black man can be Captain America.
It's not all about
Yeah.
race.
It's not about race. It's about just the person inside.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anybody can be a
Yeah,
hero.
hero, yeah.
That's right.
Even a woman can also be Captain America. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
And they did show
Because they
that.
did do a what if,
Yes.
and
And just
the-
in any storytelling aspect. Okay, so like, and I always mention the X-Men because that's like one of the big go-tos. So it's still in the Marvel realm. Many times, okay, we knew that stereotypically the standard and Cyclops and Steve Rogers had to get some of that standard. The square-jawed leading man, usually a white man that leads the team. So now that when it's never that image, it's always the media, never necessarily society, because society might want something different, but it's the media that says, well, this is who should be the standard that liking. But not Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson broke that ceiling and say, hey, this black man can be Captain America. A woman could be Captain America.
yes.
He broke the cycle.
Yeah, he broke that cycle of, oh, it's only this particular look, this particular style.
Like that one person, only one race.
One race, and even tied in with X-Men. Okay, when Cyclops was not in the area, Wolverine was not the second in command. Gambit was not the second in command. Storm was the second in command. And as
I
a
love
kid, I knew that because once she always carried an authority, like
She
whenever-
is my favorite character.
she's always my favorite. That's all
her
Wilson Storm.
and Jean.
Exactly.
All that weather power there.
And a very strong power utilizing the weather. So
I
that,
imagine myself as Storm.
and that's the thing. The many teams, whether it be in DC, Marvel, any superhero team, it's not just one particular standard. Because you look like this, or because you come from this era, you have to be the leader. Leaders come in different forms, and that goes just to anybody, no matter what your race or ethnicity
And even,
or age.
and I know and we all know another person outside of Marvel that kind of was brought to my mind that sort of was similar to Sam Wilson's position. Static Shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yes.
He might have been more of a minor series, but it was Static Shock still brought out something that a lot of people were into and amazed by. And as Gabriel was even inspired by it.
That's how I got starstruck.
And so that's how he got Star Striker because one little thing that went to whoosh
That's it. That's it.
And ironic.
inspiration.
And it's ironic that he's the Shreveport defender and our actor Anthony Mackie is from Shreveport.
Yeah, that's
It is a
it.
small world.
It's a small, small world.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was New Orleans. Well, I know he's from the state of Louisiana for sure.
It's,
I'll have to look it up later.
But he's definitely Louisiana born. That's another reason why I wanted to see it. I wanted to support him.
Yeah, and also,
Southern.
and also not the actor, but one of the X-Men characters, Gambit, is in New Orleans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's all in New Orleans. I always remember that.
He's like,
He
"Ooh."
also was one of my favorite X-Men
Yeah.
because I love the cards
Mhm.
and the way his style was. No matter what he looked like in any type of different cartoon.
And he made a famous line, I can make a name for myself.
Exactly.
He's saying with that accent, the southern accent.
Yeah.
Also remind me of Elvis. I can make a name for myself.
And
Yes.
also, you know the Southern Belle, the X-Men had Rogue.
Yes.
Rogue is another.
She likes to flirt with men.
Like,
Yeah.
so like she like so like when Spider-Man when Spider-Man came into the house, he's like, well, maybe he'll tell me what he's here for.
Like this.
Yes.
That's one of the things I always love. And I found out where Gambit and Rogue were from. It was the old X-Men on Sega Genesis, and they had like the bio cards in the manual. So I looked up
I miss Sega.
and I said, wait a minute. Gambit's from I think it's Baton Rouge, technically. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I said, oh, he's from the home state. He's automatically a favorite. And then no wonder why he fell in love with Rogue, because Rogue is literally down the highway,
Oh yeah.
Mississippi.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so it's like,
So that's
okay,
where she's from Mississippi.
she's from
Oh, I
Mississippi.
didn't know.
Yeah, I knew that. I actually learned about it.
So I saw that. So okay, yeah, they're definitely gonna always be like two of my favorites because
Yeah.
like if the X-Men actually came into the real world, I'm like, okay, well all we gotta do is hit the highway, go down to Baton Rouge, and
Yeah. Also, I mean, thinking I haven't watched Deadpool versus Wolverine, but I know Gabriel has. He has. But they brought in a lot characters that were Gambit. Which else?
It was Gambit. They had Elektra
Elektra.
and
Blade.
Blade. Yes, the vampire.
I know they also brought
That's my
Human
favorite.
Torch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my favorite was actually Blade.
But the Godfather of Marvel movies.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
But like that, you.
Don't forget Wolverine's daughter, they brought her.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, X-23.
X-23.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Oh yeah.
I already mentioned about the Human Torch, he was there too.
Yeah, but
I caught that joke. The second when they showed Chris Evans, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I
it
would
was-
know.
Like, is he gonna say Avengers Assemble?
So-
Blame on.
And I knew, I said, something gonna tell me he's not gonna play Captain America. I'm like, cause I remember the Fantastic Four film.
And it's like, oh man, he's gonna say what? Avengers, flame on! Wait, what now?
Looked like he was down on his luck in the movie. Down on his luck.
Because I kind of blame Deadpool for putting them out there like
I
that.
mean, I'm not a huge fan of Deadpool. That's why I hadn't watched the movie. And
I
I'm gonna-
Yeah, I'm not too fond of Deadpool either.
Yeah, only like I said, I remember you were because of Wolverine. You were
I was
you
more
were
of a
debating
Wolverine
about it. You were debating about it. You didn't know if you were gonna see it.
I
The
was
only reason she went because we did see it,
uh,
but we weren't able to see it at the same.
Same time.
We meant
Yeah.
to go just me and him, but wasn't able to do that. But we did come and talk about it. But I was like, I gotta have somebody in the movie with because like so we go, well, Gabe, you can just go by yourself. I have went to movies by myself, Santa Claus and Venom. There was 2 movies I remember going by myself. This is the thing. Yes, I can do that, but when you don't have somebody in there with you and you come out after the movie's over, the first thing that your mind thinks is like, so what did you think? Oh, wait,
and
nobody's there.
Yes.
you want that immediate
I always
feedback.
go
Yeah,
with
nobody's
somebody-
there.
Yeah, so.
So that's the only reason why I know you weren't up, but I'm glad you did because I just needed another
You need
body
some-
there.
Yeah, I admit I went to movies by myself only as a teenager back in California, and it didn't bother me. I like to go to movies all by myself
Yeah, I mean,
like,
go ahead.
as a teenager.
I might do that. I've never done that actually.
by yourself.
It's like if I do, it would be different. I mean, if I'm going to the arcade, I'm going to like hang out, like just by myself, like, well, you know, everybody else busy, I'd go. But I've never done it. Like went to the movies by myself. I think I might get way too comfortable because then I will start critiquing openly. Like, no, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did
It's
this.
sort of like when people say, "Don't go in there."
Don't go there. I will.
Like I went to see My Hero Academia, the newest one.
Yeah.
By myself, and I had all my little, stuff with me. My dad hadn't even known about any characters, so he went to see Wild Robots. So I was in the theater.
Wait, you said what do you want to see?
It was My Hero Academia.
No, I'm talking about your dad. You say
He went to see Wild Robot.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I Robot for a
No,
second.
no, that's old.
That's way 2004. I remember that by heart.
Yeah.
But
That's back in the day.
anyway, so I usually never go to movies by myself nowadays because
Oh yeah, you need somebody with you,
yeah,
especially in your condition. But I understand.
I have epilepsy, so
Oh.
that's why I make sure someone's with me most of the time. Anyway, off that subject. So with the movie itself, and I think with Sam and Steve, as he said, it was the 1940s era, but Sam was from this era,
Right.
and so their personalities, Steve was born in scrawny, small. He couldn't do what soldiers in that time could do. When he got the serum, it totally changed things. But he couldn't go out and, fight because he was in the spotlight all the time. Sam, he ended up as Falcon at first, but then when he stepped into Captain's feet, he was his own self. He was like, he thought he could at first step into Captain's shoes, Steve's shoes, but when he asked Bucky one time, why didn't he give you, talking to Bucky, the shield, instead of giving, that subject? It was because, and Bucky was like, because, you have a heroic personality, totally different than it would be someone who had a heroic heart and not selfish on having an ego, basically. But with Sam, he was like, he didn't want to be, I'm Captain America, I'm in the spotlight. He is his own being, his own personality. Whenever he goes out as Captain America, he still has that, but he's a totally different person. He's kind, he's happy, going, funny.
Kind of like his actor.
Sorry, I like him. Anyway, but Steve was more, how would you put it?
I would say serious at times.
Yeah, it's more serious.
Some people would say almost like anal, like to the rules, like a stickler for a particular.
He's going by the book.
Right.
Like it makes me think. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, to the book when he first starts, and then it's more like, just pretty much like, cause sometimes he might have to go off the book, but it's pretty much, well, no, that wasn't right. I need to do what is right.
Yes.
And
Like he just mean business.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it makes me think about the scene where it's one of the Avengers movies. I think it's the second or third one where they were. I think Iron Man was cursing, and then Steve Rogers said language.
No, it was the other way
It
around.
was the other way around.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, wait, no, you're right.
Because
Iron Man
It was-
did do that.
First, it was
Iron Man.
to Steve,
Uh-huh.
to Tony,
Uh-huh.
and then it was later on. Tony said it to Steve,
Yeah, and it was kind of like a flipperoo, and
so
then
it was a
Right.
kind of funny little thing.
And they sort of, I mean, it could be part of his character, but I think secretly behind the scenes they may have added it in there for extra humor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it's also the style. You think of, you came from the 1940s, so you think about 1940s, the mindset, the style. You think of the leading man of the 1940s. Also, you're thinking like I don't know if Rock Hudson was more like 1950s, but you think like the Gary Cooper's in his latter years. You think Tyrone Powers. You think of Errol Flynn in his latter years. You think of Burt Lancaster. That type of style, aesthetic, like that studio hero, where he's being brought into this modern day, where it's a lot more controversial, it's a lot more unorthodox. It's not entertainment. It's not as centralized, or the image is not as centralized. Now you have more people. You have more minorities in a higher position, more women, and more different racial, and cultural differences. Now people have more of a voice, so it's a different. That's why I feel with Steve Rogers, okay, he's great in any generation as a hero, but it's awkward because if you weren't raised in that 1940s era, you won't get it.
Exactly.
So it's like, who's this guy talking about? Tell me about my language, or he's by the book. America's such a stickler, but kind of like that.
And kind of like how, I know it's a little different, but also similar to Thor being a fish out of water when he came down here.
Right.
Exactly.
You're just about a god that's coming down to Earth.
Oh yeah.
So
It's adjusting to a different place and a different time. If you're used to this era, like 1940s or 50s, like Steve was, or 2000, and you grew up in the 2000s, so you're used to that, and then you're put in a perspective that's totally different than what you grew up with, and so you have to get used to that. So
you think about, I'm going to end on this here.
Yes.
You think about just a 20-year difference. Okay, it's 2025 now. The world is dramatically different from not only 2015 but 2005. Like, who would have thought we can record a full-blown movie on a phone?
yes.
Or take pictures on the phone, like all of our information. Like, if we lose our phone now, we would panic.
Exactly.
Like,
Or going to the internet on our phone in general,
in general.
as well as using this as our personal
Because
PA.
I kind of remember they sort of like that movie Stuck in the Suburb when he lost his phone.
That prime example, and that was 2004. Was Stuck in the Suburbs, and the phones weren't even as advanced then. So you just think about, that's a 20-year time span we've all lived through.
Yeah.
And imagine if our high school or our middle school selves would have just been transplanted to 2025. Or what if we would somehow zapped out of this room and taken back to 2005? Just how, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I could do it. No, I don't have my phone. We still have flip phones. Wait a minute, we don't even have phones in the classroom. So.
And before then, I'm going to end on my version of this. And before, when I was very young and I grew up, I had to go outside to play because we didn't have these phones. We had a satellite or a cord phone or other phones that, and also you didn't know who was on the other line. It's answering sometimes. So.
Well, back in California, I did not have the internet, and on my end back in California, that I just had to, but I did listen to a whole lot of music from my CDs like every weekend, because since I love to listen to music almost every day, especially on weekends, and I watch TV also because we don't have the internet at all until I moved to Shreveport. And Shreveport, I had to dial up internet, and I really enjoyed myself with the internet for the very first time. That I spent hours and hours on it.
Oh boy, the first time you tell me the computer, don't
and plug when I'm not using it, I unplug it. When it's not in use, I unplug the modem, and then plug it back in when I'm gonna use it again, and so on and so forth. And thank goodness we got the Wi-Fi that we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about
Yes.
plugging and unplugging
yeah.
the internet.
We could actually be on the phone and on the computer at the same time.
Now, thank God for evolution.
Ooh.
Right, I'd be his live stream on his phone instead of be checking something else at
It'd
the
be
same
like
time.
this.
We couldn't
Yeah.
do that. We couldn't do that 20 years ago. We literally had time. I don't know how many times
Yeah.
as a youngster I was on the internet and it was slow. The internet. It took the videos up a
Yes.
while. Or if I look at my favorite wrestling blog and then my grandmother like, Josh, get off that phone. I gotta call somebody. And I'm like, God.
Because another thing about that, which if you had it one phone, you and one like phone dial,
Yeah.
you'd only one person could only be on it, but
Yep.
you could if you had another phone, it would be on the same line. And so, as he stated, that's why
Yep.
at
That's
that
it.
time.
Yeah, I didn't get a cell phone until like back in 2008, which is just a prepaid flip phone.
Yep.
That was my
Yeah,
first
I remember.
phone.
So we
I
would, that was like after
Yeah.
after we had got engaged, when you got it, they go. I remember we go in the store because of how things were with her. Like we'd be in the store, like say I gotta go get something on this aisle, and she had to go something. We literally had walkie-talkies on us.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Before I had my flip phone.
Or like if you had to text, it's the ancient days of text. You had to hit that button several times. Dun, 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 A, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
exactly.
D,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
I
dun,
never
D.
text within that
Space.
time. It was only phone until you actually got
And it was so
able
expensive.
Yeah,
to text. So
that's just thing how
and that's the errors of different
Technology.
genres, and that's also with as we go back to it, Marvel's different verses and times.
Yeah.
And I mean, nowadays it's amazing comparison to, I mean, with technology
Mhm.
and a camera
Yep.
that can change a movie within seconds, and they could have these certain things. But when it was younger, you could not stop because you just would have this.
That's right. That's right.
And so it's also helped so many people, so many things.
I think so. Evolve.
But yeah,
Yeah. That probably is like going back in time, 20 years when we were in high school. They probably, I know myself, 16 probably. Wait, so how do I work this? How do I?
mine was when I had a Nokia. That was mine, and it was on a flip, and I got it when I was 16. So when I was a kid, I didn't have this. I didn't have, this thing right here.
Neither one of us. That's
Any
why.
of them.
Yeah.
That's why when people say, "Oh, y'all grew up on the internet," it's like, no,
No,
technically
we did
not.
not.
It was we were growing with the internet, but we didn't really touch the internet till like the 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Shout out to the MySpace, LimeWire,
AOL.
AOL,
Yep.
the early Yahoo,
Yes.
early YouTube, where if
You
you
got
if you-
mail.
if you went to the rabbit hole of YouTube, you
Yes.
saw some things you did not need.
I saw the beginning of YouTube at my high school.
Yes,
Yes.
Listening to songs in the computer class.
Oh yeah.
exactly. Back when Napster and all those other early day
Early.
computers, if y'all remember in school, because we all come from the same era, the big white computers, so they were Apple, I don't know which ones, I don't want to
The
mislabel
bulky
them.
computers?
Bulky computers that had the big color in the background.
Yes, oh yeah.
Yes,
I was
my mom
one of
had those in her classroom.
I was one
That
of
was
that
Apple.
computer, the
Exactly.
desktop computer with the colors.
With the
Oh.
color.
That I think it's called an iMac or whatever.
iMac.
Yeah, I was
grew
want
up
that in
with
my room, but I
Yeah.
never got a chance to get because they were so expensive
So
and my
expensive.
family was on hard time.
Oh yeah.
But I did get a laptop, but it wasn't an Apple laptop. It was
Yeah.
a Toshiba, a full screen
Toshiba.
I remember
Toshiba.
Yeah.
that.
Old school laptops. Huh?
And then when that one got down, I ordered me a computer online. It was a pink Sony Vaio.
Mhm.
It was a pink one.
Yep.
And then when it got down, after it went out, I just got and I upgraded to a Hewlett Packard, red Hewlett Packard,
Yeah.
and I still have that one today.
Wow. Anyway,
Back
That's
to our leader of the team.
Who needs privilege?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much like I say. Cause I mean, there could be more, but like I say, that we probably have made a whole nother movie if we go any
and
further.
he'll be doing his own video about it too.
Live stream and that.
Live stream.
So he'll definitely give you some more details.
If you don't mind me plugging this in real quick, 8 o'clock tonight. I don't know when you'll release it, but I know tonight, Saturday, I'll be doing. Kind of ironic, a State of the Channel address because politically. So I'm like, wait a minute. And then there was actually a State of the Union address that just happened. So
Yeah.
So y'all might be.
I'll be going.
So yeah, this should he'll probably be done the stream by the time this
Yeah.
goes up
Yeah.
to get it edited and everything. But that's what he's trying to get things in order for streams and what he's gonna do. The channel there.
Yeah, it is a process.
It's a process.
So subscribe to him or watch him on TikTok and
Thank you.
YouTube. He's an amazing. I don't do videos. I usually am a part of this team or some people, and subscribe and put up that thumb for both of them.
And awesome artist right here, awesome writer right here, awesome writer right here. We're all awesome. It's a whole team of awesome people.
So
We the new channel. Awesome.
We're the awesome Avengers.
oh yeah.
So if they're the Avengers, if they're original Avengers, we're the awesome ones.
Yes.
Oh yes, we're better than them.
It's like Power Rangers. If we were the B team, we're not like the B team. We're like the A team, but we're better than the A team. We're actually like the superior
with
team.
SPD. Yeah.
You don't have those tiers like there's the A tier, B tier, C tier. There's
We're
the
just
S
above
tier.
average.
We're the S tier. We're the superior.
Oh, yeah.
Superiors.
So that's
Yep.
the superiors.
Yes,
That's a good
superior. That'd be a
The
new movie.
superiors.
We copyrighted it. Don't you take it? That's us.
Yes.
The superiors.
The superiors.
Yeah.
The superiors. Superiors.
So
That's it.
So I guess if that's okay. So yeah, you didn't have anything else?
no, I don't think I had my
Well, the
talk
man
about
who played the new Thaddeus Ross, let's just say he is the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
goes with Anthony Mackie of Captain America. They are both GOATs,
Oh
the
yeah.
greatest of all time.
They're all. I mean, they all did amazing.
Yes.
Great job. Great job.
I would say to all the Avengers that they are all the greatest of all time. They are all
So,
the
yeah,
GOATs.
the ones
of
that are
the
going to come up, and then those different ones that are like Thunderbolts. That is another one I want to see. So, and I'm sure he'll talk about it to both of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably.
We'll try to keep it. I
Anyway.
know there's so much coming out.
It is so much
there.
coming out. So
Yeah.
much content over.
We can
But yeah,
There's no saying so many movies, so little time to see.
exactly.
Right.
so many movies, so little.
So,
But while we got this time,
So
let's
yeah.
use it.
All right.
Yep. So like I say, yeah. But like what you guys heard, having the
Right.
whole crew here or something. But for example, we've interacted
Yes.
here
All
and there,
together.
but this all together like this. Yeah, this is a major event here at this Unity table in this house.
Yep.
There, so.
And we have our signature colors.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely like, share, subscribe.
I got my popcorn.
Get the available books.
Yes.
Yumiko 3 is still gonna come out.
Yep.
It's still, be patient.
I do it. Yeah, I apologize. I'm doing a color picture for one of his books, and so if you have seen one within his small videos to big videos on
Star
YouTube,
Striker, yeah.
of Star Striker, one of them has been mine that I did. So I'm doing Flora. And one other picture I'm not gonna. I'm not spoiling.
All right.
Can't spoil.
Don't spoil.
But I'm a artist and I like to help people, and especially for his series,
Exactly.
which is so cool.
And subscribe to his Patreon.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yeah, definitely.
Especially to Patreon.
Just like
Help out.
he did the Supreme, Big Sis Casey,
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes.
and of course Iceman Universe. Couldn't get him in, but he's in a whole other area. But he is
Yeah.
supporting both the Patreons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and definitely definitely feel free to hang out, of course, in our live streams.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Don't listen.
we all got Discords
Yeah.
and Facebook. And also, don't forget, like I said, sell some stuff on that with Carrie app, get y'all a little extra cha-ching.
That's it.
So, without further ado, we will see y'all in the next video and hope we assemble once again in the future.
All right, bye everyone.
See ya.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Oh, talk to the better car.
That's it.